tonight. We're about to embark on the 5th lockdown. The first one obviously didn't work, the second one didn't work, the third one didn't work, the fourth one didn't work. It's a scam. The government's plan keeps failing. They've enforced a bullshit plan onto the population and they can't even manage to correct it themselves. As far as I'm concerned, our leaders, from Daniel Andrews to every other state leader, to the Prime Minister ScoMo, they are the biggest criminals in the country and deserve to be in a cold, dark cell. We are human beings, we are peaceful, and we deserve the dignity to live our lives free and manage our own risks. The economist Topher Fields said, "There is nothing more dangerous or stupid than putting the decisions in the hands of those who pay no price for being wrong." The government are nothing but a bunch of central planners who behind closed doors are making decisions on how to run our lives while they give themselves pay rises. They are destroying the private sector. They are destroying the livelihoods of those who work hard to support their families, to pay their mortgages. And they keep expanding the size of the public sector, printing money at our expense. And we're not having this anymore. We're not going to comply. Now to the Victoria Police in attendance, this is also your city. This is also your home. Why are you enforcing nonsensical dictates from a corrupt government? You all, I'm sure, have friends and family who have been severely impacted by these measures. Stop enforcing these tyrannical dictates from a corrupt government and stand with the people. We pay your wages through our taxes. It is your role to stand up for our rights, not to enforce this absolute nonsense. It's an absolute shame that none of us can trust the police. We've been assaulted, we've had home visits in an attempt to intimidate, and it's not good enough. What has gone on in this country for the past 17 months has absolutely no place in a free society. We didn't even get out of the last lockdown properly, and they're locking us down again. It's not on. I'm mad, that's all I want to say. Freedom!
Suck down Andrews! Suck down Andrews!
Suck down Andrews!
Suck down Andrews! Suck down Andrews! Suck down Andrews! Suck down Andrews!
Okay, well done, Anthony. Thank you for that amazing speech. Up next, we have Becky. Give it up for Becky, everyone.
That's Betsy to you, thanks. I love these snap lockdown protests. We get so many people at such short notice, and this is awesome. And I also know that the media loves to say, oh, a couple dozen people showed up. Yeah, right, whatever. I think that this crowd, being as small as it is, and I'm not saying that it's small, is not a reflection on our movement, but it's a symbol of how little people actually think of these desperate, pathetic lockdowns. Personally, I'm sick and bloody tired of playing this stupid game, back and forth. I'm over it, we're over it. It's plain to see that lockdowns don't work. It's also plain to see that our politicians are completely incompetent. Blind Freddy can see that this virus isn't terrifying. It's the flu. But if it was telling us all, then our pathetic politicians would have so much blood on their hands thanks to their inability to come up with any real plan besides decimation of our lives. So thank God it's not deadly. But that makes all of this so much worse because they know that it's not deadly and they're doing this to us for their own reasons. I I don't need to go on about the reasons we're here. I'll just say this. Screw them. Do not comply.
Thank you, Becky. Well done. Let's give it up for Becky, everybody. Okay, who would like to go up next? Morgan, would you like to have a go? Up next, everybody, Morgan Jonas. C report, everybody. Give it up for Morgan C Jonas.
Good evening, Melbourne. How are we going? Let me start off. Please settle down. Let me start off by saying that lockdowns, as correctly stated by David Limbrick, are human rights abuses. Whether it's the federal government or the Victorian government, our politicians have stepped over the line, they've trampled on our freedoms, and quite frankly, they have absolutely no business representing we the people. Our system needs a political changing of the guard. There's really not much to say. The time for talk is over. The time for solutions is now. So what did we do? We registered a political party called RDA Party. I've been sitting on the sidelines watching these inept politicians trampling on our rights, and I've said, enough's enough. I'm going to throw my head in the ring and make it my business to get rid of one of these people. It's as simple as that, ladies and gentlemen. Our backs are up against the wall. If we do not get involved in this system right now, our country will be lost forever, and that is simply something we cannot allow to happen. Is that fair enough? The time to get off the couch is now, and the time has come that you need to fight for this country. Each and every one of us has an opportunity to be part of the solution. If that's you, then I want to know from you. Okay? Come and find me afterwards and let's talk and let's see how we can work together. Enough's enough. Those traitors must go.
Thank you, Morgan. Let's give it up for Morgan, everybody. Okay, and who else have we got up on the speaking list here today? Topher Fields, everybody. Let's give it up for Topher.
Here we go again. Once again, Daniel Andrews has jumped at his own shadow and thrown millions of people's lives into chaos because he has no faith in his own contact tracers and no faith in our healthcare system. That's the only possible explanation. Once again, he and his advisors remain on full pay while destroying the lives and livelihoods of the people they are supposed to serve. Make no mistake, lockdowns are not helping us get through this pandemic. They are keeping us locked in the pandemic. Every time we suppress one wave, we make the next one inevitable. That's how viruses work.
There is no
We're
pandemic.
stuck. It's Groundhog Day, but it doesn't have to be this way. In March 2020, 16 months ago, I personally volunteered to be infected with the coronavirus. I put my hand up for it, and I bet a lot of you would too.
Yep.
You know why?
It's the
Because
flu.
that is the right strategy for managing this virus according to the epidemiologists.
Yep.
Even back then we knew the course was clear: protect the vulnerable and allow everybody else to get on with their lives. Experts from around the world were calling for leaders to keep their cool and not to follow the Chinese Communist Party's path into totalitarian lockdowns. But they were ignored. Dictator Dan couldn't help himself, and he gleefully followed the Chinese Communist Party's example. And here we are today. On the 15th of October 2020, the World Health Organization said that lockdowns should only be used as a last resort if the hospital system was failing.
Yep.
And yes, a And also, just 13 days ago, on the 2nd of July, the National Cabinet, whatever that is, supposedly agreed that lockdown should only be used as a last resort, and yet here we are again. They can't even keep their own word, and they are not listening to the experts of the World Health Organization. I think it's fair to say that our leaders have gone insane. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Daniel Andrews, I put it to you, you have lost your mind. The crazies are now running the asylum and we're all expected to play along as if they haven't gone mad. And there is a dark side to this madness. I've found myself saying and hearing from many of you that I no longer recognize my own country. Something has changed. Something has changed in this country. I no longer recognize my own country. I spoke at the very first formal anti-lockdown protest on Anzac Day 2020, and I warned then that these lockdowns would go on for years. And I warned then that the powers being seized by our government and the abuses of human rights that we are now witnessing as being normalised by our government would make us resemble the kinds of totalitarian governments that our Anzacs have. Those of you in uniform, I ask, when this history is fully written, which side of it do you want to be on? Will you be proud to say that you helped Dictator Dan place millions of Victorians under house arrest?
Hell no.
Will you be proud to say that the Ombudsman, the Victorian Ombudsman, called you a human rights abuser, but you ignored her? Will you be proud that you obeyed your orders without question and never raised your voice in defiance of the freedoms that you were given, but you are failing to pass on to the next generation? I know a lot of you are conflicted. You reach out to me through my page. You speak to me privately. I know there's a lot of you that know this is not right. Something is very, very wrong. I'm calling on you to find the courage to begin to say publicly what you're saying to me in private. Because I can tell you right now that we, all of us, when history judges us, we will be proud. I will look my son and my daughter in the eye and I will say, yes, I did what I could. I stood where it mattered. That when we saw the long dark shadows of history begin to cast their shade on our beautiful home, we did not compromise. We did not back down. We fought tooth and nail to pass on to our children the same freedoms that were given to us. We will be proud. Will you?
Well, this is the sequel that no one wanted. I'm sort of getting used to being here and talking to everyone. I don't really want to be here and talk to everyone again. But here we are, again, on the eve of lockdown. Yet again, lockdown 5.0. Again, we are not given any of the Human Rights Charter assessments. Again, we're not given the underlying data and reasoning for these lockdowns. Again,
We're given lies! That's what we're given!
stay open. Do you remember that? We're not staying open anymore. We need a pathway out of this, a way for it to end. What I propose is to set a date. Set a date when the emergency powers end, when the restrictions end, when all of the coercion and human rights abuses end. Freedom Day. I propose Freedom Day should be Cup Day this year. That will give everyone a chance who wants to have a vaccine to get one. For those that don't, they don't have to have one. And after that, we open up. What we need to do is show that freedom rules over fear. We want freedom over fear. Freedom over fear. Now we need to find an end to this. And what I need you to do is to talk to people and tell them that we need to set a date. We need to spread this idea that it needs to end. It can't end with just us. It needs more people. More people need to talk about the end date. I propose Cup Day. I hope that you'll join me in finding an end to this and that we will work together to bring an end to this chaos. Thank you.
Thank you, Gideon. I'm looking forward to seeing that bill. It should be called the Freedom Day bill. Who's with me, guys? See that bill pass through Parliament. All in favour, say aye. Yeah, right. Okay, up next, everybody, we have a first-time speaker, Gideon Krosner.
Everyone right to go? Do you remember 2 weeks to flatten the curve? That 2 weeks to flatten the curve was 68 weeks ago and counting with no end in sight. Here we are again on the eve, is that better? On the eve of lockdown number 5. This is no longer a health crisis. This is a political crisis.
Never a health crisis.
Thank you very much.
Never a health crisis.
This is the failure of our governing institutions to stand up for Australian rights and freedom. This is a failure of people who were supposed to be standing up for us. And it will only end with a political solution. It involves us saying no. No to Centrelink queues. No to border closures. No to babies dying in utero because people can't get across the border for medical treatment. No to the suicides. No to mental health issues. Saying no to coercion, to control, and to big public health. And to paraphrase the former US President, I hear you, David Limbrick hears you, we hear you, and pretty soon the people who've done this to us will be hearing all of us soon. So my friends, say it with me loudly and proudly one more time. Freedom, 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 freedom.
No one can say it's protesters' fault for lockdowns. All the protesters are gone, and they all stay together in one big group. However, these people, the ones that'll yell at you for not wearing a mask, they go anywhere and everywhere, and they don't give a fuck where they spread shit, or if they're spreading shit. They only care if you're wearing a mask or not. People suck.